This is Big BBN, big point guard on the rise for Kentucky. Let's see what's new for the blue and white team, and I invite you to subscribe to the channel and keep up with the news from the Cats. Nasir Anderson, the young point guard, who is quickly rising in the recruiting scene, is emerging as one of the greats in 2027. Although Kentucky has not yet formalized an official scholarship offer, the fact that the Wildcats reached out to Anderson is already a clear sign that the program is aware of the player's potential, and of course, he is a great name. Anderson, a native of Norcross, Georgia, has been drawing attention for his ability to impact the game in a decisive way. At just 15 years old, he has already accumulated impressive feats, establishing himself as one of the most coveted prospects of his generation, ranked as the 40th best player of the 2027 cycle by the On3 industry rankings, a position that is expected to rise in future updates. Anderson is an example of how early recruiting can be crucial for programs that want to remain competitive in the long term. For Kentucky, being in the running for players like Anderson is essential to maintaining its dominance in college basketball. What makes Anderson so special? First, his versatility. He is a complete point guard who can create opportunities for both himself and his teammates. During the 2025 FIBA U16 Men's Amari Cup in Mexico, Anderson was crowned tournament MVP, leading the United States to the gold medal. In 6 games, he averaged 12.3 points, 6.8 assists, 3.5 steals, and 2.3 rebounds in just 18.5 minutes per game, shooting an impressive 66.7% from the field. His ability to control the pace of the game, even in an international tournament against older and more experienced opponents, demonstrates a maturity that is rare for someone his age. In addition, Anderson showed his worth at the NBPA Top 100 camp, where college coaches were able to evaluate him closely. He was one of the standout performers at the event, reinforcing his reputation as a player to watch. On the Adidas 3 SSB circuit, representing the game elite, his averages are equally impressive: 18.5 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 3.6 assists per game, while shooting 57% from the field and 57.1% from three-point range. These numbers not only demonstrate his offensive efficiency, but also highlight his development as a well-rounded athlete, capable of contributing in multiple facets of the game. On3 analyst Jamie Shaw summed up Anderson's qualities well when he described him as a problem on offense. His ability to create advantages in the most dangerous areas of the court, combined with his physical strength and exceptional balance, make him a tough player to stop. Although his shot is still evolving, he has demonstrated enough accuracy to be a constant threat from beyond the perimeter. This combination of strength, explosiveness, and vision is exactly what teams like Kentucky look for in a modern point guard. For Coach Mark Pope and his staff, the interest in Anderson reflects the recruiting philosophy that has been adopted in recent years. Identify emerging talent and invest in relationships early. Kentucky has already reached out to 16 recruits in the 2027 class, and Anderson is one of the most exciting names on that list. The connection with Norcross High School, which has produced stars like Jody Meeks and Brandon Boston Jr., adds even more significance to Anderson's potential arrival to the program. It would be another chapter in the success story between Kentucky and that institution. Another important factor is the competition. Teams like Southern California, Louisville, Indiana, Kansas, Tennessee, Florida, LSU, and Ole Miss have already extended offers to Anderson, showing that he is on the radar of some of the biggest powers in college basketball. This increases the pressure on Kentucky to secure his presence, but it also reinforces the prestige of the program. When a player like Anderson is receiving attention from so many big-name schools, being among the first to express interest can make all the difference. Even though Kentucky has not formalized an offer, starting a dialogue with Anderson is a crucial step. Recruiting players like him is vital to maintaining the high level of top recruits coming into the program. 2 names on Kentucky's roster stand out in ESPN's latest mock draft, released by Jonathan Givony and Jeremy Woo: Kobe Bree and Amari Williams. Their projection for the draft is yet another testament to Pope's unique work, which has been developing something unique within the blue and white program. Kobe Bree, projected to be selected 47th overall by the Milwaukee Bucks, is a name that resonates with potential. His long-range shooting ability, combined with a court presence that combines intelligence and opportunism, makes him an intriguing fit for the modern NBA, where spacing and versatility are king. Milwaukee, a city that has already witnessed Bree's brilliance, seems like an almost poetic destination. It was there, in an electrifying matchup against Illinois, that the forward exploded in the second half, hitting 3 three-pointers and scoring 23 points overall. That performance, which culminated in Kentucky's 84-75 victory and secured the Wildcats' first Sweet 16 appearance since 2019, was a different kind of calling card. Bree showed not only accuracy but also the ability to thrive in decisive moments, a quality that the Bucks, in search of perimeter depth, certainly value. His projection for the second round is a reflection of his consistency and the impact he can make as a role player on a competitive team. Meanwhile, Amari Williams, projected to be the 56th pick by the Memphis Grizzlies, represents another kind of promise, that of a big man who combines physical strength with solid fundamentals. For Kentucky fans, the possibility of Williams landing in Memphis is especially exciting. Lexington's geographic proximity to the Grizzlies' hometown means that Wildcats fans will be able to closely follow the development of one of their charges. More than that, Williams seems tailor-made to bolster the Memphis frontcourt, a team looking to cement itself as a contender in the competitive Western Conference. His ability to protect the rim, compete for rebounds, and contribute defensive energy aligns perfectly with the Grizzlies' identity, which values intensity and teamwork. The selection of Williams late in the second round is a recognition of his growth under Pope's tutelage, who has molded the center into an increasingly polished piece, ready for the challenges of the NBA. The projected success of Brian Williams in the draft is also a celebration of the current state of the Kentucky basketball program. Mark Pope, in his first year at the helm of the Wildcats, has already made his mark, bringing an approach that balances tactical discipline with creative freedom. The fact that two players on the current roster are on the NBA's radar is proof that Pope's system not only elevates collective performance, but also highlights individual brilliance. A campaign that took Kentucky to the Sweet 16, with remarkable victories such as the one against Illinois, was a showcase of the talent and preparation of these athletes, who are now one step closer to realizing their dream of playing in the professional league. In addition, the presence of Brian Williams in the mock draft reinforces the strength of the SCA as a talent pool. The conference, which already has names such as Trey Johnson, Texas, and Jeremiah Fears, Oklahoma, projected to be in the top 10, in addition to Colin Murray Boyles, South Carolina, and Asa Newell, Georgia, in the top 20, demonstrates its relevance on the national scene. The inclusion of 6 ex-players in the second round, including the 2 Wildcats, is a clear sign that the Southeastern College League continues to be a stage where young athletes transform into coveted prospects. For Kentucky, this representation is a source of pride, but also a responsibility to maintain the tradition of developing stars while competing for titles. With Mark Pope leading the way, the Wildcats are rebuilding their history, one that combines the weight of history with the energy of a new chapter. The projection of these 2 players for the draft is a positive milestone, a sign that the program is on the right track, and the entire BBN is rooting for these guys. Leave your comments.